Okay, there's Jessica. Hello, Jessica. Okay, so hello, everybody. Welcome to Monday Night Training. This is our last one, week 4 of 4 um, in this series. This is not our last training by any means. We are always training on Monday night, so I don't mean to scare anybody, but this is our last training in our series. Um, I guess I don't know if we call it a boot camp series or whatever we called it, but I'm really excited about tonight's topic because I think it's what we all struggle with more than anything else. So, or one of the biggest things, I think. If we can get this topic down pat, then I think it would change our whole everything about our business. So, I'm really excited about tonight's topic. So, Saturday, huge day. I don't care if you're going to someone's house or not, you have got to find a way to watch that the Zing Fest, because we'll try to recap it, but there's going to be 4 hours of information, or 9, 10, yeah, 11, 12, 3.5 hours of information. We are not going to have enough time to go back and tell you everything. You have got to make it a priority to make sure that you get the information that's going to be on there. So I think you're going to get a recording. I think we'll get a recording because I know we'll probably watch it and have to go back and watch it again to just to absorb it all, because it's going to be so much. And one of the things that I need to make sure everybody knows is these peptides will not be available this weekend after this event. They are launching it. They are going to set us up for success. They are going to teach us how to do all the things before we put it out to the public for our people, so we know what we're doing, so we can tell them how to do it, which I'm so glad they're doing that. Otherwise, I think it would be a disaster if we just said, here you go, here they are, go for it. I don't think that would be very smart. So I'm so thankful that they finally listened to us and decided to let us in on everything, and teach us, train us, because this is a big deal. This is like launching a whole other company. So you've got to make it a priority to take it all in and know exactly what's going on and what we're going to be doing in order for you to be successful in this launch. And I want to tell you, you do not want to be on the sidelines for this. You want to be all up in everybody's business on this one, because I honestly think this is going to be the biggest thing we've ever seen in network marketing, in all of network marketing. And I put out a post yesterday. You guys are all welcome to copy it. But I will tell you that today, I have been on the phone all day with people. And I have been on the phone with 3 people from other companies that want to come over. That's how big. I mean, that's huge. Like, I'm so excited. And these are like my big fish that are on my chicken list, that I've been on my chicken list for years. And after that post went, in that post, I just laid it all out there. It's everything that corporate gave us already. Laid it all out there. Made sure with corporate, we're allowed to post everything that's on the XDC is fair game. Got authorization from that. But when other partners from other companies see how big this compensation is, y'all, it is going to be unstoppable. People in other companies do not make what we make. Nobody pays 30 and 45% commissions on especially on reorders. So we have got something really, really special. But the only way your people are going to know it is if you open your mouth and you start getting the word out there and telling everybody. I'm talking, you want to be so obnoxious with this. You want to be like a commercial, like the Super Bowl commercials, when you Budweiser, the ones that you hear over and over in your head. You want to be in these people's head when they go to sleep at night, because you're saying stuff so much. So I don't want anybody to miss the starting line and the gate swinging open on this. I want every single person on this team to be the biggest successes that Zingular has ever seen with this. So we've got that. We've still got the trim sticks, all 3 packs, 202, gut collectives all month long, 30% off. The red light therapy mask, 15 orders over $199 on your front line. You get the red light therapy mask. The GLPX, y'all, that's huge. Free all month with a $219 order. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the gut collective, and make sure you mute your phones. I'm doing the gut collective. That's $188 when you get the discount with the 30% off, and then adding on the clear protein. And then that puts it over 219 and gets you the GLPX. That is a fantastic deal. So that's how I'm positioning it. Did I forget anything? Is there any other specials that I forgot?
I don't think so. I think that's it, but I am going to add this. Just, think about this. Just because you guys may not be interested in peptides, if that's you, doesn't mean there aren't other people and customers of yours that aren't interested in it. So you might be thinking, well, I don't know if I want to use it or not, but you have customers that probably do, and you have friends and family that probably do. And so that's what the opportunity opens up for you. And so, so all this week, and that's what we've been doing on the September Shift page, is just talking about peptides, so we can give as much information as possible so that you guys can learn about peptides. Because I mean, honestly, I didn't know a lot about peptides until I started investigating it. And so that's kind of what that whole drive is about, and what's coming up is going to be about, and then the marketing going forward into the actual launch date.
Yeah. So, and one thing I did find out too is that anybody that is a brand partner is going to be able to get their telehealth visits first, which is why they're doing that $1 for your brand partner right now. So make sure you get everybody signed up. Like anybody who is interested, get them signed up with a Gut Collective, get them to get their quick start bonus this month, to get 4 people on with the Gut Collective to go ahead and get that money back. That's going to set them up to where not only are they going to be first in line to get the peptides, but they can sell the crap out of them. And anybody can sell these things, y'all. I mean, you don't even have to do anything. There's no coaching. All you have to do is freaking send them a link and you get paid. You don't do anything. You can't. We're not medical professionals. All we do is get them their appointment and follow up every month to make sure they get their appointment again. So we keep getting paid. That's it. I mean, this is like feeding candy to a baby, y'all. This is going to be like the greatest thing ever. So, I hope you guys got your pen and paper. I hope you are as excited as me, because I am like, it's like Christmas. It's waiting for Christmas Day to show up. So, get your pen and paper out, because you're going to need the information that Jan and Greg have tonight for all of this going forward. So hang on. Make sure you mute your phone. I'm going to mute all, Jan's, and then you'll just unmute. Okay. All right. So you guys give it up for Greg and Jen. Give them some love in the comments.
All right, chat. Here we go. Now I got to see if I can grab my. Ugh. Okay. All right. Can you guys see this? Yes. Okay. All right. I'm going to hit the present so that it's a bigger screen for you. So we're going to talk today about retention and why that matters for you, and why it's so important for your business for retention. Oops. Okay. All right. So first of all, you want to serve, support, surprise, stay, and multiply. That's what you want to have happen with your customers and with your partners. So it costs 5 times more to find a new partner than it does, or a new customer, than it does to keep your existing customers. So think about all the work that you put into someone. And if you don't put anything into them and they leave, right? You've done the work to get them started, and now they just walk away. And if you're doing all that work anyway, let's keep them. So loyal customers equal repeat orders and a stable volume. And that's what we're after, right? We don't want to have to keep recreating that volume every single month. We want that to be stable. We want those customers reordering every single month. Retention builds consistency, duplication, and confidence. Every order is proof of trust for you. And so we're going to talk about, how do people trust you and how do you duplicate that? So when people feel seen, not felt seen, when they feel seen, they stay. When they stay, they share. So when you have customers that well, I'm going to give an example. I have a girl who loves our protein. That's the only thing she uses is our Clear Protein. She absolutely loves it. So she tells all of her friends about her Clear Protein. So what do you think she does? She's selling my Clear Protein to her friends. She doesn't want to be a distributor or a partner yet. She wants to sell the Clear Protein and share it with her friends, but she doesn't want to be a partner yet. But you know what? she's going to become a partner pretty soon because she's got all these people asking her about the Clear Protein. So follow-up is key. So most people don't quit, they drift. And what that means is they start falling away from you because they don't think about you because you're not following up with them. So you follow up and that keeps them anchored to you. And think about it. Think about when somebody sends you a message and you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I need to order. How many times have you had someone remind you about something and you're like, oh, that's right. And that you only thought about it because they connected with you. That's the same thing with a follow-up. You have to have a system in place for your follow-up that works for you, that you're going to be consistent with. So you need to have some kind of a flow. So your flow looks something like this. So they order their product and you message them and talk to them about their shipment coming. You can see when it's coming. You guys can follow that, especially on Pulse is a great way to follow. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but on there, you can see their order and you can see shipping. Check in on them. Here's the thing that you want to, I know we've talked about this before. I always feel like my job when I start out is to make them aware of what we have. Once I make them aware of what we have, it's up to them. They decide if they're going to get involved or not. That's not on my shoulders. That's on them. Once they decide to get involved and they decide to purchase, now my job changes. Now my job is to give them the best customer service possible. And that customer service is, if they want to be coached with whatever their product is, it could be just a bottle of Flush, a bottle of Accelerate, whatever it is, if they want to be coached, my job is to offer that coaching to them, whether it's an 8-day or if it's checking in with them a couple times a month. But think about this. If you never check in with your customer, how do you know if you can add another product onto their order? How do you know, like Melissa's talking about that, you have the Gut Collective. How do you know if you can add on protein if you never talk to them, right? So you want to talk to them and say, you know what, if you add the protein in, this would be a great addition to what we're going to go into with the peptides and having protein in your diet. But talking to them and staying connected to them gives you that opportunity. But if you don't talk to them and follow up with them, you would never know how to change that up or how to add to that. Celebrate their progress and ask them questions. Find out, like, you know, maybe they're not interested in losing weight. Maybe their goal is just to heal their gut, right? And so following up with them and just asking them things about, you know, how are you feeling? How did you do with this product? And they might tell you they didn't like a product. That's fine. Take that product away and then give them another product, but celebrate their progress and always ask if they have, if they have pictures, let's say they've done an 8-day with you, because, you know, 8 days are still there. People are going to want to do the 8 days. You can offer that up to them. Or maybe they just want to do a, you know, high protein, whatever diet, right? Celebrate their progress. If they come back and say, oh my gosh, I lost 2 pounds, celebrate that with them and really, you know, help them understand how important that is, because that's 2 pounds of inflammation that they've gotten rid of, and make them feel really good about that. Okay. But don't forget to ask the questions. And then always pop in and remind them about reorders. If they're on subscription, that's great because you get those reminders about subscription, right? Or you can hop into your Pulse. Again, I talked about that before, but you can hop into Pulse and it says, these are the people that have subscriptions coming up. So you can just go ahead and pop in and say, hey, you have a subscription coming up in a couple of days. I did this for all the people with a promo coming up, popped in and said, hey, you have this coming up in a couple of days. You might want to switch it up and go ahead and get the up to 30% off, and told them how to do that. Using Pulse, here's why I use Pulse over Project Broadcast. I've been using Project Broadcast for a long time. When I send out mass messages, number one, I never know for sure that they got it because you can't tell. I even contacted Project Broadcast and said, is there a way that I can tell if they click on and read my message? No, there's not. I'm just trusting that Project Broadcast is sending the messages out. Even though it says sent, I don't know for sure that they got it, right? But with Pulse, when they get it and they click on it, I can see that they clicked on it. And I can tell you I got a lot of clicks for the promo because I was sending it through Pulse and I could see them clicking on it. So pro tip, make it about them and not about the product. Talk about how it can help them. What are the things that they're wanting to do, whether it's, you know, losing weight, just sleeping better, making money, whatever it is, make it about that and them and not the product. And then tracking, and I know we talk about this over and over and over. If you don't track it, you can't multiply it. Retention doesn't happen by memory, it happens by method. There is not one single person in this Zoom or in this world. My husband has a great memory, I'm telling you. He can remember things that if you're going to be playing any kind of a memory game, or he's the person you want on your team, right? But you cannot, there's nobody that can remember everything when they're tracking or doing this. You have to have a tracking method, whatever that is. If it's Google Sheet, Excel, Teamsy, Trello, and Notion are a couple other apps you can use. You have to have some sort of a tracking method that you can track your customers and remember to check in with them. If it's a notebook and you're writing it down, that's great. But how do you remember who you're going to follow up with and when you're going to follow up with them? And then, oh, I don't know why I put that in there. Celebrate their progress and ask them questions. That's from before. Okay, so use what you'll be consistent with. You know, if you're not going to use Google Sheets or Excel, if you know that that's not something you'd use, then that's not a tracking system for you. If you would use a notebook and you can write it down in the notebook and you have a good tracking system, or if you can use a calendar, that's great. Then if it's something you know you'll use, that's your tracking system. Now, personally, I couldn't use a calendar because I couldn't fit people's names in there for the follow-up. If you're having to follow up with 15 people, it's hard to get 15 people's names into a box, right? So you have to figure out what you will actually use and be consistent with. And then systems that stick. So simple systems create a predictable success. And what that means is that people are going to stick with you if the system that they're using is simple and it's doable. Okay, so first of all, have a customer team page. Almost everybody I think on here has a customer page that the team uses, right? And then have weekly or bi-weekly follow-ups. You schedule it, you figure out what it is. You know, honestly, depending on the number of customers, I've had partners that have weekly follow-ups, and as their team grows, that becomes harder and harder and harder because it's hard to follow up with 100 or 200 or 300 customers, right? So, but you need to have some sort of a system in place for following up with people and scheduling those people to follow up. Have message templates that you can use for check-ins and thank yous, but you also want to have those templates so that you can personalize them. You know, you can drop messages into a customer thread, but here's what I would want to warn you against is don't always only use the customer thread or always only use your customer page, because again, only about 5% see things that you post on your Facebook. Customer page would be a Facebook, right? And so if you're doing it in the thread, it may get lost as people are commenting. So not everybody's going to see it. And so sending that personal message is also important. And then make sure that you're commenting in your launch pages or your party pages. Don't forget about those. If you have a launch page and you've done however long you do it, maybe you do it for 15 days or 30 days or whatever you do, keep going back in there and sharing things. And it doesn't always have to be about the product. It can be just health tips. It can be, things about, recipes or workouts or just positive sayings, anything in there to keep people coming back. Think about pages you go see or go back to. If people aren't posting in there, you typically don't go back to them or they don't come up in your feed. And so if you're going to be in your customer page and in your launch pages and constantly posting in there, people are going to want to come back in there. So a pro tip is post to group pages and messages, but don't forget the power of personal messages and calls. And you can use your voice clip. And I know that that we've shared this on here before, that you can do a voice clip that's generic enough but still sounds personal, and then you can share that to multiple people. But again, just making sure that it sounds personal, and you want to make it so that they feel like they're being seen, right? And that you're talking to them, not talking to the masses. Okay, service that stands out. So you want to give the best customer service so people remember how you made them feel. So going the extra mile, and here is just some suggestions. Handwritten thank you notes or cards are huge. And you don't have to send out tons of them in a week, just maybe picking, 5 or 10 of your customers each week and sending them a thank you card. Dropping a sample of a trim sticks, maybe one of the new flavors, into your card. And then maybe offering them a discount on their favorite product during their birthday or their anniversary month or whatever. Dropping surprise voice notes, shouting them out, customer win. If maybe they shared with you that they had weight that they were on, that they decided to go for a 30-day weight challenge and they dropped some weight, or they're walking every day, or they're working out every day, whatever it is, ask them if you can share that on your customer page, and then shout them out on your customer page. So pro tip, small gestures create big loyalty. The company gives us that extra loyalty balance or loyalty challenge that we can get an extra percentage if we have so many customers with a certain volume, right? And so we can get extra money because of loyalty. And so they understand the value of having loyal customers. So the fortune isn't just in the follow-up, it's in the feeling. And I know we say that fortune's in the follow-up, but it's also in the feeling. How do you make them feel? So create connection spaces. Your pages and threads are your retention engine. So your customer page, that's education, transformation, and testimonies. That's where you focus on that. Your event launch page, energy, excitement, and engagement. And then customer thread, direct, fast communication. So I'm going to pop back up to your event launch page and talking about engagement. It's really a good idea to have interactive posts, put those on there to get people responding back and forth to you. And it could be anything. It doesn't necessarily even have to be related to the business, just something that's going to get them responding so you can have some conversations going on in your chats. If you do put something in there, let's say you put in there, what's your favorite product and why, and then they start talking about it. Or maybe you say, what are some questions you've had about, whatever it is. You put, like now we could say, what are some questions you have about peptides? And they could write their questions down or whatever. Just something to get them talking. What you want to avoid is, of course, having people go negative on you in any of the pages, and you want to handle that or take that off the page as much as possible. But anyway, so just making sure that you have some engagement on your page rather than just spewing information at them, if that makes sense. Okay, another pro tip, people stay where they feel seen, supported, and celebrated. Again, encourage them to share their stories. And you share stories. Sometimes you can share stories without saying names, and people are fine with that for the most part. I can tell you, in the 7 years we've been here, I've never had anybody come back at me and say, I can't believe you shared my story, right? So people are fine with you sharing stories, not using their names. A lot of people, when I ask them, they're fine with me sharing their pictures and their names because they're proud of what they've done, right? And tag their wins, build your community. So the action steps, so here's some things for you guys to work on or to take to your team is audit your follow-up system this week. Look and see, well, how are you following up, and is your follow-up system working? Add 5 customers to your tracking list, create or relaunch, and I'm going to back up to that a second. So I was talking to someone today and we were talking about tracking and how to do that. And, sometimes it can be overwhelming. If you haven't had a tracking system in place and you start thinking about, oh my gosh, I've got this many customers, how am I going to get them all in place? Break it down. Just do a couple every single day and add that to your tracking list. So if it's 3 a day, 5 a day, don't make it so many that you can't complete it. So add 5 customers to your tracking list. This is for the week, but you might want to up it to 5 a day if that works for you. And then number 3, create or relaunch your customer threads or pages. If they've been sitting dormant, hop in and just start the chats again and hop into your pages and start posting some things in there. And then be sure to use your @everyone tag at least once a day in those pages when you post in there. And then I'm going to challenge you to send 3 handwritten notes or messages to customers this week and surprise 1 customer with just because. And I can tell you that I did this, just sending out a note saying to people, I was just thinking about you today. Just wanted you to know, hope you have a great day. And you can't believe how many people come back and say, that was so nice. I really needed to hear that today. So the secret to momentum isn't just new growth, it's lasting growth. And so it's really about making that connection, serving, supporting, surprising, staying, keeping them, having them stay, and then multiplying that. So that is it for retention.
I love all
Okay.
so much, so much. I hope everybody else got everything, got a lot of stuff out of it. And we have got tools that can help you, and if you have not dug into the app, and if you're not using Pulse, and I'll give you, I will say a disclaimer: watch your email to see if anybody cancels, because it is delayed and in cancellations. But that is a jewel, that is a gem. It gives you new people too that you can follow up with. And I love all of the things that you said, all of the tips that you did, but you got to do it. You can't just listen. You've actually got to go and apply it and do it and get your customers, because I, I mean, so many times we get a customer that would stay if we just spend a little bit of time on them, just a little bit. You don't even have to you don't have to call them every day. Just send a message every once in a while and just say, hey, I was thinking about you. Just wanted to check in. Do you have any questions? Can I help you? Have you heard about the new product? Do you know there's limited edition? And also, one thing that you can do too, in your Pulse, you can make up your own templated message and put it and save it in there and use that for every single one. I do a different one every month, because I mention to them what the product of the month is, because I want them to know that this month they can get a free GLPX with a $219 purchase, you know? So I want to make sure they know that too. Jody, if you go into Pulse and, let me see it may be something a little bit more difficult than just how you do it. But if you go into Pulse and go into your follow-ups, no, you can do it right here. It says choose a templated message and add a new templated message, and it'll save. So when you go into follow-ups, you go into follow-up now, and then go to templated messages, and then just add your own. And you can use Chat GPT or whatever you want to use for that. Um, Sometimes, do we have it in boards, Jan? Do we do those in boards? If not, we can put it in there. I can put my templated message in there.
No, we
And
don't have it. I don't think, well, we do have like the old chats in there, but the other thing too with Pulse, you guys, is always check, like, so, because sometimes it'll say it won't have them in there. Like for example, had somebody that was said inactive on Pulse, and they had actually placed an order that day. So but it will drop down their order. So when you go in there, you click and it drops down their order, and you can see when their last order was and what they ordered. So it's really easy. You don't have to jump out of the app to go to your Zingular site to check on it. It's right there for you. And then you can also, with Pulse, you can click on activity, and it shows you all the messages that you've sent to them. So you might have, let's say that you did a template, but the template wasn't showing up for you for some reason. You can go in to, let's say you remember that you sent it to Melissa. So I go into Melissa's and I looked at her activity, I click on it, and I can copy that message and then put it into a new template. And so, so make sure, like, as you kind of go in there, that you are clicking, or know that you have some options in there. You can also, I know that we've talked about doing notes, and there is a section in there that you can put notes into. We were talking about going back into their name and hitting notes under there and having to move around. With Pulse, you can actually go in, activity and notes are right there. So you can comment on there on what they said to you, or, what they did or whatever. But the honest to God thing I love about that is that you can see they clicked it. So you can go back to them and say, hey, I saw you clicked on, and the trim down tree, or the trim sticks, right? And so I can tell you, I did that. I had on Sunday, the last day of the trio, I had 5 people that had not ordered for a year. Now I know I could have gone back and got them as new customers, but all 5 of them went in and ordered the trio and got into their old accounts and ordered the trio, because I sent them personal messages. I had been doing project broadcasts to them prior to that, and I made it intentional to go in and do that personally. And so I really believe the power of Pulse. It's worth it. It's worth figuring it out, and it's worth spending some time in it. So for sure.
Okay, and I'll tell you another tip today that everybody in my team did not know. So I think that this might be one that this is one I'm going to share. Y'all all may know this, but somebody might not. If you, in your group, in our messenger groups that we have, Jan's got her messenger group, I've got my messenger group. If you click on the name of the messenger group at the top, And if you go down and view media, it will show you every flyer that we have posted in there, every picture that has been posted, all of that. So you don't have to scroll all the way, so you don't have to scroll all the way back through. So any flyers that we've posted, any pictures that we've posted, and anything, and then it'll also show you, you can pin stuff. So both Jan and I pin things. I've got the link to this Zoom pinned. So anytime that things are important, you can go and view pinned messages, and you can see all the pinned messages. So that way you don't miss anything important as well. So that's your techo tip for the night. So there was so many people were just like, I didn't know that. So now everybody knows. So I think Terry had something that she wanted to say before we closed this up.
I love your challenges, ladies. I'm calling out Jessica again. Jessica's on here and you challenged us last week. Several things. I love that, but you said to shout out someone on your team, and she's been showing up. And I also gave her a challenge to lead our training, and she did this morning and did such an amazing job. So kudos. And then one of your challenges was to invite someone new this week, and Misty Youngs is on here. So keep the challenges coming.
Good job. I am hoping that every single person on here can say that they did the challenges as well. So, so proud of you for leading the training, girl. That's hard to do. So, congratulations. That's big, big time stuff. So, congratulations to you for doing that. And anybody else want to shout out for somebody? Because this is what we do. I'm proud of look at all my people showing up today. Got Corinne on here, and Nancy's on. Welcome back, Nancy Haley and Fancy and Vicky, and just a bunch of people. I'm so excited that all y'all are here. And for the people who are going to show up Saturday, already proud of you for doing that, and for those who are gonna watch that. Does anybody else got anything they want to say? No, I want to shout out Heidi. She's killing it. So proud of you. Yes. You went above and beyond last month. You impressed me. So,
Hey, Melissa.
all right.
Melissa.
Yes.
When I
Yes.
registered,
I don't see who.
it's Alta. When I registered for convention, I had signed up to do the yoga thing that convention offered. And I knew good and well I wasn't going to be up at that ungodly hour of the morning to do it. So I point blank asked them about how long the recordings would be. And they said the recordings would only be available for 1 week, from Saturday to Saturday. The recordings from convention. Okay. Just thought it would be good for everybody not to put off looking at it.
Yeah, we're going to have to watch them things fast. Okay. We have to watch and listen fast. Thank you for that, because I had no idea. So I had no idea. So if you're watching it, it's going to be starts at, what is it, 10:30 Central Time? No, 9:30 Central Time. Starts 9:30 Central Time, 10:30 Eastern Time, and goes to 1 o'clock Central Time or 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you're going to show up at somebody's party, I would show up probably at 10 o'clock Eastern Time or 9 o'clock Central Time or 8 o'clock Mountain Time. And I know we've got some Pacific people in here too. So that's 7 o'clock y'all's time. Lord Jesus, that's early. That's the butt crack of dawn. I'm glad we on the East Coast. I'm glad we in the Southern state on the East Coast. So we got the 10:30 time. So all right. Well, I'm excited for what's coming. I'm excited for this week. I'm excited. Golly, y'all, I cannot even tell you. Jump on this train. I don't care if you haven't worked hardly any in years. Work from now until this thing launches. Learn everything you can, everything that you can. Soak it all in and tell everybody. Open your mouth. Learn it as you go. It doesn't matter if you faking it. Just tell people. Like, figure it out as you go, but open your mouth. That's what I'm doing. I'm using ChatGPT for everything. Let him learn you and let him help you, or her, or whatever. Mine's Ralph, but you've got got to get loud. You've got to get loud, and you've got to get loud now. Don't wait until it launches, because you're going to miss it. You're going to miss all the people that could come in and help you launch it. So,
Hey, Melissa,
anybody
I
else?
have a question. It's Terry. You said
Hey.
that we could use your post, and of course we'll change it up, but I noticed that the prices are in there, and I'm hearing wait until Saturday about the prices. So are those set prices that we can post?
Oh yeah, yep. It's on XDC, and
Okay.
we were told
Okay.
that was is fair game, because
Okay, thank you.
Sarah posted. She posted it different than me. She posted it starting at 179. I posted it at the price that they gave us on the flyer, the highest price. So I put on there, this is the price. This is the most that you'll pay per month. So it goes down. This is how I worded it. I think something like that. But yes, we confirmed it this morning with Helaman. If it's on the XDC, it's fair game to post.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You are welcome. And I say, let's go tell some people, because people are paying a lot more than that for these things. A whole lot more. I have gotten a lot of people that said, holy crap. So they're paying a lot more. All right. I guess we done. Last chance. Anybody got anything? All right, I'm going to declare Ephesians 3:20 over all of you. God is going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than we can think or ask, because we honor him. His blessings are going to chase us down and overtake us. You are in the right place at the right time, and I declare a boldness to rise up in each one of you. God is going to open supernatural doors. People are going to seek us out, and we will rise in the ranks because we give him the honor and glory for it. Love you guys. Have a great one.
Bye, everyone.